All right. Good morning, everyone. So excited to see you all here. We will get started in just a moment as we are getting everyone in and settled. If you've been here before, you're going to know what I'm going to say next, but I love to start our sessions this way. We have a very global audience here at Decile Group and VC Lab, and I would love for folks to drop into the chat where you're calling in from. We always have folks all over the world, but also almost every single time there is a new place that I haven't actually seen come across before. So that's always my goal is looking for a new location I haven't seen in the chat. So Montreal, New York, Boston, a lot of East Coast folks. We've got Woody down in Long Beach, California, one of my favorite cities in the world. Jealous that he's there, but he's going to give us a great talk today and show off some really cool features for us. Copenhagen, India, Chicago. Oh, Chicago in the summers or anything better. Nashville, Memphis, Belfast. Ooh, I don't think I've seen Belfast before. Wonderful. Well, really excited to see you all again. We're going to buy us a little bit of time as we get everyone in this morning. It is bright and early for all of us here on the West Coast. So, a couple quick kind of housekeeping things in the chat. We want you all to be using it. That's part of why we have you go in there and post where you're calling in from. We want you all to start communicating with each other. You are more than welcome to say hello, to connect, to share your LinkedIn. Please do not, however, sell any services or kind of promote yourself, or if you're a founder, promote your startup. This is definitely not the venue for that, unfortunately. There are lots of great places to do that. The chat here is not that today. Also, if you are raising a fund, please don't post your thesis in the chat. That could be considered general solicitation as this is an open session. So be mindful of that. Please don't put any thesis into the chat. We will delete those messages. If you are spamming the chat, we will go ahead and remove you from our call today. We don't usually have an issue with this, but I always like to say it so there's no surprise later. All right, a couple other housekeeping things. We want the session to be really interactive, as always. And so if you have questions for us as we go, and we encourage you to ask questions, we want time for questions. We build in time for questions. So please, in the bottom of your Zoom bar, you will see a Q&A box. If you don't see that, you might have to click on the round circle with the three dots that says more. You'll go into the little pop-up there and you should see the Q&A. Now, once you're in the Q&A, if somebody has asked the question that you would like answered, go ahead and upvote it for us. That way we know what questions are most relevant to the most people here, and we will always try to prioritize those questions. We'll get through as many as we can, of course. Again, want to make this very interactive and ensure that everybody is learning and growing along with us as we use this time. All right, now with that, let me see if I have anything else to cover on the front end here. Don't post your thesis, but do feel free to use that chat. Don't spam in there or we might have to remove you. Please get those questions in the Q&A box, and I think we've done it. I think we've got a great group here. I know we do. I can see all your names. Wonderful to see a few familiar names here as well, some new ones. So welcome, welcome if you're a bit newer to us, and welcome back if you spend a lot of time already with our team over here. So with that, I'll officially kick us off. So welcome, everyone. I'm Kelly Schricker, the head of Decile Labs, where I lead our venture education programs. So if you're a bit newer to us, no matter how you're coming into this journey, we have a program for you. If you are just interested in learning about venture, we have a program called Venture Institute. That's kind of Venture 101, all of the things that you need to know, and is a very kind of hands-on learning experience. We have our VC Lab program, which is for managers that want to raise their first fund. We call it a closing program because you're actually going to be raising and launching that fund in the program, not just learning about it in theory. We have an Emerging Institute for folks that are raising funds 2 through 4 because it is a different process than when you're raising your first fund. And then we also have an LP Institute for all of the folks that want to learn about investing into VC funds as an LP. So again, no matter where you're coming into this journey, I'm so glad you've made it here to join us today, and we are happy to help you no matter where you're at and have a program for you. All of those programs are free, which I think is one of the best, details to include there. And the reason we do them for free is because here at Decile Group, we really believe in venture for good, and that really, kind of is impactful in everything that we do. And, VC Lab was actually launched with one single conviction, and that was this idea that venture capital, when done right, is the most powerful tool that we have as humanity to solve all of our biggest problems. And whether that's how we live and work together or how our societies are functioning, we believe in venture for good. We should be deploying capital into companies that are bringing widespread positive change to the world. And we have the power and the ability to do that. So, having said that, if you all are interested, if you have not applied to one of our programs, again, go ahead. All of our applications are in. Keep an eye on the chat. Our team will include links to where you can apply to any of the programs I mentioned. I will do a special shout out for our VC Lab program. We have our next cohort coming up in just about a month from now. And so we're coming up on our deadline to apply. Please get those applications in. We have helped launch over 900 venture funds across over 80 countries. And so, no matter where you're at in the world, that's always one of the first questions we get. Hey, do you know anyone in my area? Have you done anything here? The answer to that at this point is almost always yes. We've done this time and time again. This is cohort 22. And so we have a literal playbook of what works. You have to trust the process. But again, we've helped a lot of managers do this and get started, and you can do it. And so if you are on the fence, go ahead, get that application in. You can always say no later. You can always defer your acceptance if you're accepted into the program, but bet on yourself, get that application in. Now, having said all of that, we're going to go in a little bit of a different direction today. I am so excited. We have Woody Butler back joining us. Hopefully, all of you have met and seen Woody around before. He is an incredible support to all of the members of our community. He is part of the Decile Hub product team. And if you're not familiar with Decile Hub, Decile Hub is our SaaS platform that brings all of the technology that you need to run the front and the back end of your fund together under kind of one area. That way you don't have multiple systems kind of speaking and then kind of hacking everything together, as you know, sometimes in the startup and VC world we like to do. Decile Hub is an incredible tool. We're releasing so many really incredible features, a lot of AI. Woody's been coming and showing all these great features off. I know he's got more to show today. And again, we want this to be super interactive. So if you have questions, if we went a little too quickly, please feel free to put it in that Q&A box. And with that, Woody, would love for you to come up and do a quick introduction, say hello, and take us away here.
Sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Woody. I'm the product lead here. If you've ever had a question or tech support or feature request for Decile Hub and our entire operating system of VC tools, that's what I do here. We've got some really cool AI stuff to show off to you guys today. Decile Hub, as Kelly mentioned, is kind of the entire operating system we've built for venture capital, especially emerging managers. It's got a CRM in it. It's got a bunch of other tools between newsletters, events. We've got an agentic platform into it. There's an entire closing, back office, and LP facing portal as well, and an entire accounting suite of tools as well for institutional level audit ready accounting stuff. What we're going to be showing off today are going to be some of our new AI tools. Kelly, am I good to take it away? Okay, sweet. So yeah, everyone, welcome. We are going to demo some of our AI tools on the platform that we've built today. Specifically, we're going to go over some of the new capabilities of our agentic tools and the functions that those can call. And then we're also probably going to do some quick highlights of some other areas of the app that we've made improvements to. Some of those will be on the CRM side, and some of those will be a combo of potentially your agents, your own agents, even off platform, using our new API and MCP features that we've released over the last just about a week, actually, released some of these ago. Okay, so with that, I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to bring you guys into just the primary investor dashboard of Decile Hub. This has gotten a bit of an overhaul recently, so I just want to demo it while we're here. Anyone who's gone to their investors tab on Decile Hub, this is kind of your main fundraising view of probably the most important screen in the whole app. This is what you do when you are reaching out, getting PACs, which are those non-binding letters of intent that kind of we recommend as the precursor to signed LPAs, and also getting your LPAs signed. So this is usually the most important place you want to go to in the app. We have some new AI tools built in here that are going to help you know what to do next. We've really simplified this dashboard overall. And the first things you see are just, where am I at? How much money have I raised? And who do I need to talk to next? And there's a couple other things here on inbound emails. You can connect your own email, whether it's your Gmail or your Outlook, or we have IMAP/SMTP custom integration as well. any of those, and it can read your own emails and surface inbound emails to you with between you and your LPs. I just don't have it set up on this account. I have it on my other regular account. So what I'm going to do here is just start off by clicking, okay, so we've got a prospect. It's telling me David Lindquist. He's one of the guys in my pipeline I've added. He's been stale, I think probably for a couple months at this point now. So the AI is saying, hey, follow up due. You got to follow up with this guy. And let's just click AI advice real quick and see what is Dex, our fundraising agent, recommend that I do. We're trying to make this as simple and straightforward as possible so you can do a one-click sort of action to get the ball rolling and get back into fundraising, especially if you've let that drop for a couple weeks, just have it surface to you. How do we get back started? How do we get that momentum started again? So what Dex is returning to me is saying, hey, he's never been touched. He's been idle since July 22nd. He's saying that we need a follow-up due, and he's in the outreach stage. This is kind of a dummy prospect that we just added. He doesn't have much more information than that. So right now it's just saying, great, let's talk to him about our thesis or a recent portfolio signal to get a real conversation started. So sure, let's just draft the outreach to him. And small note here, this is Dex, the name of our agent. We just use that to signify basically anytime you're talking to one of our agents, it's going to be called Dex. Dex knows everything about my pipeline and this prospect, and it also talks about my thesis. And it was saying specifically we should do something about my thesis with health and digital tech and health, which is the thesis of my current fund. So we've got this little widget here to compose an email out to David. Hey, backing digital health from LA. My fund, Woody Demo Fund, it's got all my information about my thesis. It's got all, these are things in my thesis, specifically kind of the provenance, the secret sauce that we teach in our accelerator. Love to share more and hear your perspective. Sounds perfect. Pretty decent outreach email, I would say. You probably want to customize it, maybe be your own voice even more. Decile Hub can learn your own voice and how you write emails, and it will store that as a memory file, and it gets ejected in context every time you begin drafting emails after that. So that's another cool aspect of this is just like other agentic platforms, it has an evolving memory over time. So yeah, I could just send this. We can edit it. I can say, make it more formal, and it'll probably regenerate this with some more formal language. But a lot of things that you can do in your own Claude agents and stuff like that, you can now do on Dex, and it's got full access to a huge amount of tools and all of your data within Hub. So yeah, that's just like scratching the surface. As we see, I'm writing to introduce. I would welcome the opportunity to share more detail. And yeah, so I can make this a little more formal like I asked it to. There's a lot more Dex can do though. So that's just a quick overview of like, hey, how do we get the momentum running on fundraising and things like that? I'm going to have Dex change gears and we're going to do something like this. Okay, tell me about how my fundraise is going and who is closest to committing. So previously, it was just telling me, some items on David Lindquist because I asked for advice on him. We hit some of an error, but I think it recovered next immediately after that, so we're all good. Let's give it just one moment. Dex is going to be able to pull all of the information across your account. Here it's giving me a quick rundown of both my investor pipeline, and the closing pipeline is also for those who are going to be signing the LPA and have kind of confirmed their interest. So it says Elena Vasquez and John Smith are ready for formal pledge. Elena's got a 70% probability, but these three are in closing. So these probably are it's saying Elena is most urgent to get her confirmed. I'm going to say let's let's see. We just did email outreach and we showed how we can do that. It can just kind of tell you overall instead of having to look at the pipeline, which you can absolutely do too. Um, I could look at my own pipeline and see, who's here, who's in the closing stage. Uh, but for now, I was just going to have it let it read it for me and it make its own judgment on who's probably the most urgent on here. That can be really useful once you've got dozens of people in your fundraising pipeline. I am going to go on to closing as well. So if I jump into my closing pipeline, may just stay on investors, actually. We'll stay on investors. So I'm going to ask it now some things about the closing pipeline. You can ask just about anything in your account. I'm going to ask it how many LPs do I have closed? And the power of this being such a conversational UI is you can go now on your phone. And when you use Decile Hub on the go on your phone, it's so much easier than we have a mobile view built for the pipeline. Still, you're navigating an entire CRM on your phone. The nice thing is you can use the agent on your phone and you can just ask it questions like, how many LPs do I have closed? Um, okay, so 0, because all of them are in the send LPA. Great. Like you can just ask it any question about your account and get an immediate answer. So that's going to be really useful for on the go. You say like, hey, I just met John Scott at a conference. Uh, his email is john@scotts.com. Add him to my outreach stage. I can just say something like that on the go, and just say, hey, like do this for me real quick. It's got all of your hub info ready. And as we just saw, John Scott just appeared on our outreach stage on the go with his email. We could even do something up, send him a packed email. Uh, you don't have to pull out your laptop and say like, hey, yeah, let me sit down with you and send you the pact. You can literally just tell the agent, great, send him the entire pact email. He's ready to sign a pact. That'll get him in your system, things like that. Um, uh, so it is giving me a warning, and we're going to say yes, send it. It's making sure I know what I'm doing because, I said I just met him a second ago. Um, Okay, it is insisting I maybe do a warm intro with him to confirm my intent, but you can just you get the picture of what we do. We can use just the AI to basically do any action now um, in Hub. Kelly, I'll pause here. Do we have any questions or anything like that that's come up so far?
Yes, we have had some really good questions, and I'm not going to go through all of them just yet, but I do want to address a few that I think are really important.
Mhm.
One, Sal has asked, can we talk about how teams collaborate on Hub? They have a few co-GPs, and I know that that is an option, and that is something that folks can do. So I don't want to get too far down and have Sal thinking maybe this won't work for them.
Uh, yeah, great question. I will point out, so you can have multiple users on your account. I'll just show that real quick. We have a team section where you can invite new teammates. So that's how you do the physical aspect of adding other teammates to your account. You can also, I skipped over that. You can manage their permissions. Co-GPs will probably need to be admins, but if you have venture partners or interns or just analysts, you can limit what parts of the sites they will be able to access. So you've got pretty decent permissions around that. The other feature I'll highlight the most for teams working together is our assignee column. Let me make sure we have the assigned column. So this is your pipeline, kind of actual pipeline view. There are tons of columns. This is like a fully featured customizable CRM. You can add custom data points. You can rearrange all of these views. I think you guys saw a moment ago, I was switching between our Kanban view and the kind of default table view. Uh, huge amount of customizabilities. You can set up different filters. Um, I'm grouping everyone by the stage they're at. You don't even have to do that. You can keep people all in one list. Um, but the one column I want to show, which you can even group by, is you can assign different prospects to different people. And we've got some great automations built around this, is that I'm going to click both of these two prospects, which we have assigned to, one of them is Woody Butler, the other is also called Woody Butler. So we'll have to closely look at this, but I'll click send an email, and I bet the call schedule email. So the way a lot of our email templates are set, and the email templates are, we don't even have time to get into the whole pipeline of, these stages are customizable, the actions in the stages are customizable, the email templates are fully customizable. You can set the from of the email template to come from the assigned user on the prospect. So this one for Holly is going to come from Woody plus demo, which is one of the other teammate. And if I click Todd, this should come from, let me double check that these are the different ones. Okay. I think this is not showing, sorry, if we send this email though, and let me double check the email template does what I want. I'm going to say the call schedule email template. Yeah, so it'll come for the assigned user on the prospect, which basically means that for the Holly email, it'll come from this Woody teammate, and for the Jameson email, it'll come from this Woody teammate. So you can even do bulk emails and have one person who could even be a separate person, maybe your analyst or someone like that, can send out the emails, but it'll come from whoever is maintains and holds that relationship with those LPs. So yeah, we've got tons of features to support multiple users, I'd say. That's one of the ones I like to show off the most.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And going back to what we were talking about for the prioritization on who it's suggesting you follow up with, how is that prioritized?
Um, I would need to review the AI prompt. It's a combination of, we use LLMs being provided with certain context on your pipeline. So for this one, I need to double check that off the top of my head, what exactly we're using for context. It's a mixture of uh, how recently the prospect was added, how much back and forth you have with the prospect. The AI also will summarize, if you connect your emails such that you allow us to read your emails as well. If you had emails with David Lundquist that were back and forth, even if they're sent outside of Decile Hub, just like say they're on your connected Gmail or Outlook, it would also take those into account. And I think it just does some probability generic calculations based on some of that context.
Got it. And another really great question here before we let you get back to it. Does it allow you to create multiple custom pipelines and custom deal stages that would align with the way that the firm does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one was in context of deals. We'll show deals off in one moment. The pipelines work similarly with both investors and deals. Uh, you can customize your individual stages that have already been created. You can click this little gear on the right, and we can like change the actions of what are set up for a stage. For this one, there's like a lot of like, setup probability, and then we send an email, make a note that the meeting is scheduled, take notes, and then after that, you're either going to move them to the next stage or unresponsive. Those are the existing stages, and you could edit all of them. If I were to do something like this, I can like go in and edit these emails. I can say, actually, we don't want to follow up, save that. And now we're just sending the 2.1 no follow up. Uh, you can also automate all these follow-ups too. If you want to add entire new stages, you go to the stages page, and here you also have a view to see everything, customize your pipelines, add new stages, reorder them, rearrange them as you see fit. Yeah, you've got full customizability on all of these. And that goes for the deals pipeline as well.
Amazing. All right. And let's go ahead and get back to anything else you wanted to cover. I do have a lot of great questions coming in though. So,
Um, We can skip going over deals. Deals, we have an entire deals pipeline and flow as well, where you can import deals automatically from various sources. You can ask it anything, Dex anything about your deals as well. We showed that off last time, so I want to get to some of the new stuff also eventually. So I am going to jump into some quick new functionality, something that we just released last week. It was requested by a bunch of people, and then we can get back to some of the questions. I am going to show off some of our new API and MCP expansions that we've done for handling newsletters. So Decile Hub has a newsletters feature, and a lot of people have used this over time. It's the kind of easiest way to do like a giant bulk send of like if you're sending to more than 50 people, or like say you want to have a quarterly newsletter, you want to update prospective LPs, or if you want to update all of your closed LPs, Decile Hub has got great ways to do that. I'm going to call this test two. And we've got ways to target the newsletter. It can go to everyone. It can go to you can go to literally everyone in your contacts, all of your admitted investors in just one of my funds. You can say like, hey, everyone in this pipeline, or even just certain stages in that pipeline. Tons of ways to customize that. But something people kept asking for is when can we customize the emails to really be like beautiful, professional grade emails and stuff like that. So the answer is now. Now there's a way to write HTML for your emails. And best way to do that is by using the Hub API or the MCP on your own agent. So what I'm going to say right now is I'm going to go into my own Claude code, which is hooked up to Decile Hub via our MCP. And I'll show everyone how to do that right after this. Can you write me a newsletter in Hub? Let's call it, this one needs to be called test three. Give it a complex HTML design, and also, use companies from my deals pipeline and highlight those in the newsletter. So we're going to send this off to Opus, and we'll have this, it'll look through our deals pipeline, and then it'll build our newsletter, and we'll be able to see that in Hub and preview it in just a few seconds. What's really cool about this is now you're not just going to get a newsletter. Previously, our newsletters had some simple formatting, some gray bars around the side, tiny bit of graphics that you could customize. Now you can literally go wild. You can literally have your AI iterate with you on any complex HTML. That will need to be newsletter compliant. Take a note of that. To build the newsletter of your dreams, and it's going to be able to have access to all of the data on your hub. So you can say, hey, you literally just grab companies from my deals pipeline, and let's highlight those to prospective investors to get them excited about investing. Yeah, this will take probably 1 to 2 minutes as this chugs through building the emails. Kelly, do you want to hit me with 1 or 2 questions while we're waiting for that?
Yes, we always get questions around lead enrichment and kind of any ways that folks can do that. I know we have some things that we can show off, but maybe you could speak kind of high level to the way in which folks can use tools like LinkedIn or any other lead enrichment that they have.
Yeah, I'll talk about that on a couple different angles. So we have our own lead enrichment for prospects and deals that automatically happens. When you are importing deals, we automatically kick off our own lead enrichment to go find information if we could be confident on that startup. As well as if you attach any files to a deal, we will auto parse those. Automatically grab any information from like that deck presumably you've put in, or maybe it's term sheets. We'll put that into the notes and fill out the deals as well. I can jump over to my deals on this account and see if I have any examples of that handy. Unreal Sciences, maybe not. Give me a moment. Okay, here's one that has been enriched. Gravitas Medical, this one, I just uploaded a PDF of theirs that had, I think, their slide deck and some of their other info. And then this automatically read all that, filled out things on traction, founder, other things like that. It gave us some detailed notes as well on things like the team, cash runway, things like that. That is for deals. As for LPs, that's something I'll demo a little bit later today if we have time. We have a product called Decile Magic that is in early alpha that is going to help people find LPs and enrich them from the internet. Uh, as far as general LP enrichment, that is something we are still developing as well in terms of like just add anyone and then go find information on them. Yeah, we are still rolling that exact feature out, is what I would say.
Amazing. And do you have time for one more, or are we ready to go back here?
We're ready to go back here, unfortunately. So I am going to bring us up to the new Test 3 newsletter that we just had Claude build for this. And we'll land on the page, and boom, we have a beautiful newsletter that is wonderfully styled, talking about our active deals. It grabbed, these are real companies from my own deals pipeline, and it's grabbing information on where they are. It very opinionated. I said this is a demo, so 60% conviction, talking to our prospective people about what this. Yeah, so really cool overall. And as always, you can send a test email to yourself to make sure it renders as expected in your own email browser. AI is decent about this, but only decent. I will just let everyone know that you need to make sure that the email looks good in your own email if you're going to build with HTML. That's just an aspect of emails rendering HTML a little differently than normal web pages. I won't get into that tangent today. But yeah, this is a really cool new thing we've pointed out, and you can have the MCP and the API can target it. Right now it said just manual, but you can have it targeted to anything, and you can control all of these aspects and even publish the newsletter with your Claude agent. So that's kind of one of the new cool features and one of the big API expansions that people have been asking for a lot. We are next working on expanding this to be able to do custom HTML for individual emails as well. That's less necessary since wording. If you put fancy HTML like this into a regular person-to-person email, it may go to their promotions tab for a lot of email service providers. So just be aware of that. But that's something we're working on rolling out next, is using this in the regular pipeline emails too. Okay. We can pause for a couple questions here now, Kelly.
Amazing. And I see a few of the names in here are folks that were either in one of our recent cohorts or VC Lab or the one that we have active right now. So just a quick plug here. If you all are actively fundraising, having a newsletter, which everything that Woody just showed off is going to make that a lot easier, is going to help you keep folks warm, give you another reason to be reaching out even without having to kind of one-on-one message folks. And so please make sure you're using this, y'all. These are really incredible tools. It's going to be a great resource and ability or tool for you to go back to some of those folks, keep them warm, keep the conversation open, stay top of mind. So make sure you're coming in and using these. I'm excited about them. All right, a couple questions here. We talked about lead enrichment. Great. Does the platform allow us to help them source or search for LPs?
Yes, we that is the tool Decile Magic that is in early alpha. I will demo that exactly next. This is something we've done a lot of iterations on. It is very difficult to do well, and I'll show some of the early results and stages that we've got to demo today. We can just demo it today instead of saying that. So pause on questions, and I will demo some of our latest stuff on uh, decile magic is what we call this, matching LPs to one's thesis. I think I may have it up on Gigi account already. Okay, so let me zoom in here. Uh, I got here on the Gigi account. This is another account. I clicked this, 10 LPs match your thesis. You won't see this on your account yet. We are going through to make sure we are providing high quality LP suggestions to you. We are really iterating on this. So expect potentially some user test invites in your inbox if you're a current cohort member on this soon. We are trying to make this as good as possible before we release it as wide as we can. So I just clicked the see who they found, and it's on this account. So this account is a fund that is in the, I think, Southeast Asia or Asia Pacific region with blockchain technologies is what this one is investing in. So it's just going to load up a couple LP suggestions. Right now, this is doing internet-wide searching for angels, other GPs, anyone who might be running fund of funds and might be investing in emerging managers that are aligned with your thesis and with your region to try to suggest them for you. We have been iterating on this a lot, on the prompts, on the way we search, on the way we qualify these leads and show them to you because we want to be showing high quality leads to you that are actually worth your time. The current iteration right now is we're going to go through and we're going to suggest some LPs for you. So here are 4 of your 10 that are ready today. Let's just say, okay, we've got Jason Yanowitz. Okay, Blockworks. Okay, and this one is, okay, directly in digital assets and blockchain. This one is in the East Asian sector, and they're doing different IT things, matches Asia Pacific focus. It also giving you some reasons of why or why they may not fit. We've got some other ones that are institutional investors, and a couple other ones. Looks like SoftBank. This one is saying, hey, this one's probably a poor fit, not worth it for you to invest yet. We do adversarial reviews on the LPs, so we're not just going to say, hey, this is the greatest LP ever. His name's Jeff Bezos. You should reach out to him. Yeah, so basically the extent of this tool right now is saying here are some potential cold LPs you can reach out to. We've done what we can to qualify and match based on thesis and region. When possible, we also provide LinkedIn, so you could go to their LinkedIn and find them, see if you have any connections, ask for a warm intro from there. That is the latest iteration of this, and we're really working just to, again, improve LP quality before we release it widespread. So that's a sneak peek of that. That's what I'll say on the LP suggestions and finding LPs agentically for you guys.
Amazing. Thank you for showing that off.
Yeah.
Even if we weren't supposed to today, folks, we are so excited about what we're building here that we can't help ourselves. It is so exciting. We know that this is one of the things that folks are always hoping and asking for. So I don't have any other questions, but I've got a few to make sure we're using this time wisely.
Mhm.
With the new Dex AI that shows up when you log in, it now kind of really shows you, where to start spending some time. I think we've done a really great job on building out okay, I'm here, now what? But Woody,
Mhm.
I would love for you to show off, what are some really great areas that our super users should be coming in and spending a little bit more time in?
Yeah. So other than investors that we went over today, I'll talk about files. We recently upgraded just did like a visual overhaul in the entire files section. A lot easier to see things at a glance. You can like click into, sorry, I'm gonna be on this account. Click into files and you'll be able to see details on them just at a glance. And then you can also just go to the actual file if you want by double clicking. And in addition to us just doing some nice visual overhauls on the file, of course, the agent can talk to you about your files and ask you things. So I'm going to say I've got this PDF, which is a presentation in my data room. I'm going to ask it, uh, uh, tell me about my A2UI presentation in my data room. I think the search bar should have access to this. Um, let me see this. Running data room search. This is a good sign. Okay, did I give it the wrong folder? Okay, here we go. Um, here we go. I found the file. I'm going to say summarize the content for me, and tell me who visited this file. So the AI also has the ability to search your file and your data room. So again, you can like very easily say, you don't even have to go and click through the UI. You can just say like, hey, did John Smith view my materials deck that I sent him? Or if someone else has like uploaded a file, especially if you're working with multiple people and co-GPs in your file and use this as a data room, uh, they say, hey, we just uploaded, this file to the data room. You can just say, hey, great, summarize it for me. Every single file that gets uploaded to Hub, we automatically vectorize it and analyze and parse it for content. So another way we've kind of supercharged the AI agents to be able to um, see things like who's viewed the file. And also, this is just to be clear, a summary of the entire file and what's in it and things like that. So that is one area that I'll highlight to everyone. I highly recommend using. Oh, and we've also updated the viewer experience. So we set up these data rooms. There's lots of different data rooms, some for sharing files with your LP on the LP portal. We've got some for running your own company, and these are the folder-specific internal files, things for exporting deal memos. I've got this one specifically set up for, my presentations to my hypothetical LPs. If we look at the preview for this, what we see is that something new that I just want to highlight here. We just recently shipped this. I'm viewing this in an incognito window. So this is like, imagine I'm some random person on the internet, some LP that you've sent this to. If you link this in an email to someone via Hub, the link that they get will automatically be attributed to them. They won't even have to sign in at all. But if you want to share it freely and have anyone have access to the link, you would send them this link. And what we've just shipped is the ability to log in with Google or LinkedIn in just like a one-click sort of flow where they can sign in there. And instead of having to enter their information, we've made it even easier for them to just be able to just one-click sign in, preview the PDF. And that also helps with the distraction or the temptation some LPs have had to just enter like ASDF into those to view the file quickly. Not that I also note, these data rooms are configurable. You can control who had like that was a one that's publicly available. You can make it so only certain prospects or people, if they like type in their correct email into those boxes, will have access to that. You can lock all of that down in the LP presentation folder in the settings and things like that. There's lots of different viewer permission types. But yeah, that's a power user feature that I think shouldn't be a power user feature. Everyone should be using this. It's a great built-in to Hub. And of course, if someone views your file, you can set up automations. They automatically should get added to this stage in this pipeline, things like that. So yeah, that's a good one to cover too while we're here.
Awesome. And Eric has a really good follow-up question here. And we might have handled this, but I'm not exactly sure. So Eric has asked, is it possible to improve the shared files with LPs on Decile Pro? Right now, it is a list of documents, and it would be great if they could put them into folders so it's organized by topic.
That is a great question. Eric, is that Eric Hines, I assume?
Yes, it is.
I think I saw your question the other day on this, Eric. Eric is asking a very detailed question about uh, our LP portal. And this isn't something we always demo, but I'm going to do it today just so everyone knows what we're talking about. On the LP portal, so I just went in my back office and you can use these buttons to view the LP portal as any of your LPs. So you can see exactly what they're seeing. So if they ever ask you a question, say like, hey, why doesn't, I don't have any portfolio companies in this account. If I did, their graphs and stuff would be showing here. They could ask you, if they ask you, hey, why does the graph look like this? You can go in and see exactly what they are seeing. So you can be confident in their experience on the LP portal. In this one, I don't have any documents. If I did have a document, it would show here. And this is what Eric is referring to, is that there's a document section for your LPs. And you as the GP, this is where they'll have their subscription agreements and their signed LPAs, and also their tax documents will be here and a couple other places too. But you as the GP can also just upload files here. And you can upload them freely. You can let's do that. It'll take a minute to update. So uh, they would show here if you had uploaded those. These are in a flat table. Eric is requesting the ability to maybe organize them into folders or subfolders, things like that. Uh, we have chosen so far to keep it as a flat table just to keep it dead simple. And so no one can get lost with navigating up and down with that. That is a great request, though, Eric. And let me reach out to you and we can talk about help qualify that feedback because I'm interested in making sure we can build something that works exactly for those files. Yeah, that's what I'll say about that is I will reach out and we will talk more about that. So maybe we will build that.
Amazing. And that actually really helps us tee up a question from Felix. So we were just taking a look Decile Pro with the LP side and how those folks are going to use this alongside us. But Felix has actually asked about startup founders and if there's any kind of functionality or use case for founders on the platform.
Um, For founders using Decile Hub, I would say it is certainly we have it focused towards emerging venture capital managers. For interfacing with founders as a manager, we have some features I'll highlight. Like if you go into the deal section, we have this inquiry form, which is you can basically customize a form and customize questions and change questions on it as you see fit. That will then give you a link where you can copy that and this is the form that you can just hand to or put on your website and hand it to startup founders. And then the startup founder would say, hey, here's my company. Here's what we're solving. Here's our file deck, stuff like that. And they will fill this out and automatically get put into uh, a stage in your deals pipeline, wherever you choose. Yeah, that's what I would say about that. As far as a startup founder using this, uh, we have had other people use SL Hub since it's a very powerful CRM for various types of fundraising. So I would say, I mean, your mileage may vary. We've had people use this for funds. We've had this people use for fund of funds. We've had people use it for some other private equity fundraising things. Not its main intention, but I would say if you're a fundraiser, sorry, if you're a founder who is fundraising, you know, we've got a fundraising pipeline that is a very similar aspect of adding people, having outreach, sending them materials, and then yeah, I guess instead of send packed, it would be, secure a letter of intent or an investment. So yeah, I would say your mileage may vary, but I would love to see it.
Amazing. And Alan actually has a comment here. It would be great if the founders could actually upload data to the data room. So just a little bit of feedback for our team there. A couple other questions. Do you have anything else you want to show off, or are we good to keep going on these?
I'm all good. Let's do questions. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So Monica has asked if this is a paid tool, and I will go ahead and get right to the answer, which is we actually offer this for free to everyone who comes into our programs or is working with us. We want to help and support every one of our managers as much as we possibly can. So if you're coming into VC Lab, Monica, or one of our other programs, you will actually get a code to sign up. It'll make it entirely free. You'll have access to all of this. Depending on that sign up code you use, you might have a slightly different UI that's just kind of there to help make sure it's not entirely overwhelming because it is a very robust technology. But as of right now, the system is actually free. And then, with some of these new AI features, there's a chance that we might start paying for a few of the kind of more specific areas, really around just to cover any, larger AI costs. But anything to add there, Woody?
No, that's perfect. And to be clear, yeah, the programs themselves are free as well too. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the programs are free. The SaaS behind it is all free. Again, our goal is to help and support you. We know that it's not the easiest thing to do to raise a fund, right? There's a lot of details, and we don't want folks that are going through this journey to then be spending hours and hours connecting a bunch of different tools and then having to customize. And so our team decided early on that this was essential to the success of the managers we're working with and started to build it. And now you can see what it's grown into. It's really great. And if you're newer to us, us, our team over the last maybe 6 months, Woody, has done a huge overhaul, adding all these AI features, making sure the UI is a little bit easier to navigate and kind of move around in. So shout out to the team for all the hard work they're doing. And again, hopefully you've even heard here, we take a lot of feedback. We really care about the experience and making this, again, as easy as possible so that you all can focus your time and energy where it really matters. All right, more questions are coming in, so we're going to keep it moving here. Um, Let me see. So, how much does plasma cost? Yep. Okay. And if you're not part of VC Lab, it would still be free. There's a chance, we would talk to you about kind of, what other programs might be a fit. And I totally just answered that question. So, if that was your question or you want access, I will put into the chat here one of our group emails. If you want access to Hub and you are not actively in a program right now, go ahead and shoot me over a message to private@decilegroup.com. That is in the chat, and we will get you connected with our team and figure out exactly how we can help and support you and get access to all these great tools. All right, so with that, Nathan has asked, are there any tips on how to make the tool smarter, specifically when it's suggesting things that aren't actually in the UI? There's a little bit more context here, so I'll make sure I take a screenshot of this and send it over to the team. But any kind of best practices, Woody, for making sure that folks are kind of setting this all up, giving it access to maybe like emails and things so that it's as helpful as possible?
Um, I hear you on that. I would say the one thing to be aware of if you're this sometimes comes up when people so we have this great search bar, and maybe I should be demoing this more where you can like ask anything. You can ask both VC questions like what is a European waterfall? And you can ask things like that. It should have past that. I might have to we just fixed a bug in this morning, so I realized it is not perfect. I can ask like what is a European waterfall? I had to type it twice today. So you can ask VC type questions like this, and then you can also ask it something like, where do I go to find newsletters in Hub? So you ask it both VC questions and then also Hub specific and decile group related questions. Let me just make sure that sends. I think this is okay. We'll just retry it here real quick. I'm sure this will bring it up again. Okay, where do I go to find newsletters in Hub? Uh, Occasionally things can be outdated if they're because this is questions like this will be trained on our support content. So if there is support content that has been out-aged or like has been out of date, it can occasionally pull in stuff like that. There's also some things that are not out of date, but are just different depending on what you see in Hub. As Kelly mentioned, if you enter with a start fund, your left nav UI might be more simplified, especially until you hit some packed threshold where we're just really encouraging people like you don't need to be doing a newsletter when you have zero signed packs maybe. Instead, you could just focus on just getting packs, just doing fundraising, just doing things like that. The other one other point I would point out about this is that if you go into navigation settings here in the bottom left, there's two different types of left navs. You can choose which one you like more. Compact is the more recent one. It's what I've been using today. There's also what we call the nested menu. This is kind of the older one. For people who have been using Hub for more than a year, for maybe 2, 3, 4 years, this is the UI that they're used to. So just be aware for things at left nav, it may be referring to something like compact versus nested. That's what I'd say about that.
Amazing. Thank you for that. We did have, and Nathan, if we didn't get fully to answer your question, I did take a screenshot of it, but again, I'm pretty sure that is the Nathan that we know very well. So feel free to reach out. Happy to make sure we get you any answers to whatever might be top of mind for you there if we didn't cover it. Madeline has made a comment here as well that when it comes to the folders, it would be really great to have an area where you can kind of toggle between folders and then also be able to search, since if you don't know exactly where the document is filed, you end up having to search around a little bit. So thank you for that feedback, Madeline. I know that I will get that over to our team unless there is a way to do that, Woody.
We have a way to search via name, and that will come up here. We've just added this with the file overhaul a couple weeks ago. So I'd say make sure you're using that. That's the only recommendation I'd have there.
Amazing. All right. Thank you. And again, we are making so many changes to this. It is, fun and hard to keep up. So if you were in here a few weeks ago and something didn't work, go ahead, try it again. There's a good chance that we've rolled out an update already. A couple other things here. Eric has asked, is it possible to add ratings to the LPs and GPs on the platform, similar to kind of how Uber creates a score on both sides? I know that this has been a conversation and there's some pros and cons. I know Adeo, I've heard him kind of talk about this. Woody, I don't know if we want to make kind of a full statement, but is this something that is on the radar or anything we might share?
This is something in discussion. Lot of both legal and other concerns doing this. To be clear, you can rate your own prospects uh, in the, let me just find the rating column here. In your own CRM, you can rate your own prospects, and those will transfer through to the person, and those are for your own use. I think what this person who has requested a globally shared rating or feedback system on LPs or startups or things like that. That's something we've discussed. No official statement there though yet.
Awesome. Yeah, that one is a little bit of a can of worms when you start to get into the details. So that's why you hear us kind of chuckling. It's been a big cock throughout at least even my time here. So really great question. It might be the one that we have to end on here, but there's on the very far right side, we have agents, base, and improve. Could you just kind of highlight what those different buttons are and where they take you?
Oh my gosh, yes. So Decel base, this middle one I'll click first. If this is going to, I think, the last base channel I was in, so we'll close that person's channel. If you sign up for a start fund or a partnered fund with us, that happens at a certain point if you go through the cohort and we choose to work with each other, you will get your own channel on Base, which is our messaging forum. It's similar to Slack. This for anyone will clicking up this will just bring up that to kind of be a quick access to the messaging system. I'll say this is also where I'll plug Base for anyone, regardless of what platform, what programs you're in, things like that. I'll plug the Hub support channel on Decile Base. This is Decile Base again, our forum. Hub support channel is where you should go ask, give us feedback, anything you want, feature requests, anything like that. Put them in here and we'll get to them. It's how our main feedback channel from you. Everyone posts in here tons of times a day. So quick plug for that. The agent, this is also just quick pull out for the new agent features that we went over today. You can fully collapse them or move them. And then this improve this page. This one is for Decile admins only. So I don't think you guys shouldn't be seeing this one.
All right, amazing. Well, Woody, that brings us to the top of the hour. Thank you again so much for coming, for showing off all of these incredible tools and resources that we're building in and improving within Hub. I know how much our group really appreciates this, whether folks are new and getting excited about being on this journey, or I see so many names of folks that have already gone through programs, are already doing their raise here in the platform. And so I know that this is actually having a huge impact, saving folks time, helping them really figure out where to spend their time and energy. So, Woody, thank you. Please send our thank you to the team as well for all of their hard work on this. For everybody who has joined us, we appreciate your time today, of course. We love that you all are in here and using the tool. Like Woody said, give us feedback. Let us know what you want. Let us know what's frustrating. And again, if you're newer to us and you want to come into one of our programs, head over to govclab.com, get that application in. Again, you can always say no later. You can always change your mind. You can figure out that the timing's not right, whatever it might be. But if you don't bet on yourself, if you don't get that application in, you're never going to make your dream come true of launching a fund. So go ahead, bet on yourself, get your apps in. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. All right, everybody, thank you so much. And we'll see y'all soon. Thank you, Woody. Bye now.